to the TED Ed podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
The crazy these folks is getting. They are absolutely nuts. I had one thing that happened, man, that they keep going around in my mind. I mean, it just keep going in my mind. The audacity or the sheer gall of some of these folks, man, is just unreal. Now, we got a natural disaster going on, man, over there. People's homes, man, have been burnt to the ground. Everything they got is gone. I mean, totally destroyed. And these son of a girls are sitting here playing politics, man, with these folks' lives over there.
Yep.
A lot of these folks, man, are living in their cars that they escape with. That's the only place they got to live in because they can't get the government to come over and help to give them some money so they can have a place to stay at until they can figure out what they're going to do with their burn up possessions. So you got these MAGA nuts who are coming on these MAGA stations and telling these folks in California that they're not going to give them anything until they conform to what MAGA wants them to conform to. And whatever they tell them that they better do it before they give them a dime to help them to get through. This senator from Alabama, this nut who held up all those generals and Defense Department promotions and stuff for almost 6 or 7 months last year, is now out there again talking crazy. Now, Ted, California has 40 million people. Between them and New York, they send the most tax money to the federal government than any other state in the union combined. With it, and you can take them little red knucklehead states out there, Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, whatever,
North Dakota, South Dakota.
And they send more money to the federal government than that. Now, if I'm sitting over there in my state and these fools tell me that the money that I sent to them to put in their pockets so they can spend it, going to tell me how I'm going to get my money back. The next thing smoking down the track is me going up there to the legislative branch of our government in California, the state legislator, and saying we ain't sending another dime to the federal government until we can take care of our own, and we're going to keep our money to take care of our own people. You talking about if that happened, that would blow a hole in their national debt. Now,
you're absolutely right.
I'm sitting here looking at this nut, this crazy nut sitting there saying this stuff, Ted. That is absolutely asinine that he would do something like that. Now, when they was bashing New Jersey and all the other little states over there because they had problems going on, they didn't wheel the bat that California wheel. Ain't nowhere near it. So if California decides to do that, what are they gonna do about it? What the federal government gonna do about it if that state said we ain't sending you another dime? Every federal dollar and stuff that we've been sending you, we putting it into our pockets. What they gonna do? Sue them? Because my next move is just like I said yesterday. Well, Canada, here we come. We are you all 12th province. You got 11, so we the 12th province. we going to Canada and leave them knucklehead fools over here to scuffle and do what the heck they want to do. This stuff is getting crazy, man. I'm just, man, I guess this is what happens when you got fools, non-DEI hires that you done voted in to be your representative. And the best they can do is tell him he's a DEI hire. And most of them folks are 10 times smarter than the folks who saying it. So it's a bad thing to be a DEI hire. It's a bad thing to have brains and be able to think and to know how to read a book. What we gonna do, man? So, and then all these folks out here, they beat me up because I'm a DEI. Hey, you 10 times better than them. So why you worried about that crap? Oh, Ted, I don't know, man. This is just too much. What you got to say, brother? That's all I meant. I had to get that out because I couldn't believe that man did that.
Well, not only him from Alabama, they had the Wyoming guy. He was talking about it. Talking about there's going to be some type of rules and regulations. They're going to do what they tell them to do.
Right. You're going to tell them. You're going to smack a grown man and say, you better do what I tell you to do.
Yeah.
They grown.
Here's the thing. Every state has its own, I guess you would call it, way of lifestyle that they want to live. Now, I lived in California for 11 years. And at the time when I was there, in certain parts of California, especially in LA County, I loved it. I loved it, bro. Now, at the time I was a baller, so I played ball all over the area. I went to Compton, I played in all the areas you can name. I mean, I went to them. On the street and in the gyms. Outside and inside. Never had no problems with nobody. I was going to a great church. I used to visit a lot of churches before I joined the church. Great church. Had me a great job, and never got stopped. Well, I take that a lot back. I did get stopped a couple of times, but it was because
You messed up.
stupid stuff I did. But the bottom line is that I never had any problems. Now, when I was out there and I was selling, advertising and working, I used to see all these brothers, they're turning around on the side of the curb. But what I'm saying is that those people, and the reason why I'm saying this, the people in California, at least in the area that I was in, they cherish their homes. It's almost like a cathedral. It's almost like a chapel. Even their apartments and stuff, they cherish those things, bro. Two things they cherish in California that I looked at: their homes and their cars. And now they're telling us that whole Altadena area, and you haven't heard a lot about Altadena, was 60% black. I didn't know that. Those homes are worth anywhere between $1.5 to $2 million. Most of those homes. And they have had those homes for generations. Passed down from grandmama to daddy to children. They're all gone, bro. Millions and millions, I dare say billions of dollars is gone. Now, the one thing that I found out and what I just heard, I just talked to my brother, he lives in California. These people was dropping, the insurance companies dropping these people for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Just before it even happened. So my question is, did they know something? Did they know something? So many people that was out without insurance.
Mm-hmm.
This is the sad part about it. And I don't know if you caught Joy last night. She interviewed a lady from Pasadena. She explained the situation there and all the legacy that they have there, and so many people have lost their homes. They only allow them to have a place to stay, like in the Airbnb or something like that, for free for 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
What you gonna do after that?
Now, who was doing this now? Who was allowing them to stay free?
FEMA.
FEMA. Oh, okay.
FEMA will pay for it. And these people just lost their homes. Some of them probably done lost their jobs. I was talking to my wife last night. We was just discussing, say, well, because we live in California, a lot of those people in Pacific Palisades, they had people who worked for them. You had maids and babysitters and people that run their errands, and because they get that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people lost their jobs on doing essential things. So they out of work. Obviously they don't live in those neighborhoods, but they're out of work. So this is going to affect hundreds and thousands of people, at least pretty close to probably a couple million people.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. They say that they're LA strong. We'll see what's going to happen, because they're going to need a whole lot of money coming in.
Well, we hate to talk about disasters and everything, and I know I hate to talk about them, but sometimes you just have to and stuff when things are bad. And man, it's real sad to see what's going on and stuff there, and the LA area, and to see folks' homes and stuff, man, get totally destroyed. You won't have a place to stay at. But you hit on to something, Ted, that we it's these insurance companies are what how should I say it, man? They just destroying us. You and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have been paying insurance on their homes for years. And when you really need them, they just get up and go. And why can't we find somebody in this mess that we got out here to tell these insurance companies, say, hey, some of these people, you're going to have to give them their money back or do something to help them or whatever. You just can't abandon these folks and everything like that and say, hey, that ain't my responsibility now because I don't want to insure you anymore. You got a policy with them. So I'm going to be looking to find out if the attorney general and stuff there in the state of California is going to start filing lawsuits against these folks and everything for leaving these folks high and dry. Because if they don't, Ted, somebody's going to have to help these people rebuild their home. Just like you just said, they got a year and a half to build their stuff back. With all this mess going on, you looking at a long time before these folks even have anything, any money to do anything and stuff with. Now the rich folks, yep, they probably going to get their home built up. But what about the rest of those folks?
Hmm.
That's not going to get done. And I mentioned that before. I said, man, we got a mess out here. And some of the people even now, they haven't said a whole lot about it because, this past, yesterday or last night, the Santa Ana winds start coming back up again. And they're afraid that they're going to create more fires and stuff down there because I'm looking at their map and everything. And they've got like what, about 5 areas who have major fires going on all around. And most of them is in the northern part of the Los Angeles County area that I can see. But I was looking at it and stuff and where these fires and stuff are at and everything, and they're saying that, hey, these things might get even worse and stuff because the winds came back. So they don't even have time yet to even think about trying to rebuild or doing anything at all. And
Well,
like,
they're going to need they already put an estimate at a minimum of 150 billion.
oh man, that ain't, you looking at more than that. That's just a drop in the bucket. You looking more than that, Ted. What they done had over there, the total destruction over there, you looking more than that.
Well, think about this. Here's the thing: the waste, the contamination, the all of that gas and that's what is it? What's the term I'm trying to use? That stuff can get into your system.
hmm
It's just like you made the
That's you talking hazardous waste.
you mentioned, and I didn't know this. I laughed about it, but I didn't know this. What would you say? You said Iowa. They have so many hogs, and they got it's hog country,
Right, right.
and they can't drink the water
They can't drink the
because they
water.
got so many hogs that messed up the.
Right, ecosystem.
Yeah.
They the hogs over there have completely destroyed the ecosystem. They got these huge, huge, huge hog farms, and they can't get rid of the waste other than to dump it into the lakes and the rivers and stuff. And it has contaminated their whole state. They say during the summertime they can't even the water is undrinkable unless they're getting water out of deep wells. But the surface water and stuff, they can't drink it.
Yeah,
And,
see, this is almost like the effects of 9/11. You know, it left us such a
mhm,
detrimental issue.
right.
Well, they should treat this just like 9/11. You know, they gave all them people all that money, whole
Ted,
lot of money, bro.
Ted, you're giving them too much credit. You giving these fools too much credit. You giving them too much credit. They got a governor in the state of Iowa, a Republican governor, and she knows that these people, these huge farmers, are poisoning these folks' land. And they asked her to help, and she turned it back on them people, and they still put her in office. They still voted for her to go in office. You're giving these people too much credit. And I've been hearing drums like I was just mentioning and stuff about the environmental impact, and you are absolutely right. There is an environmental impact. They're going to have to come in and figure out what they're going to do and how they are going to get rid of all of that burnout sections and stuff, the homes, the concrete, the pipes, all that stuff and that thing that has been totally burned up. How are they going to get rid of that stuff? They're going to have to go and they're going to have to bulldoze that stuff out. And you know, the state of California is at the top of the list and everything when it comes to environmental protection, what they have to do and stuff with their waste. These people don't play no games and stuff with people taking their waste and stuff away. So there's going to have to be a complete study and stuff as to how they're going to get this stuff done, where they're going to put this stuff at and everything, and how they're going to dispose of it. And they haven't even started building one building yet. It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time. And then once you get all that stuff moved out of the way and everything, somebody's going to have to come in and do some planning. Is this land that you got here and everything that you had? And if they come in and scrape all the land away, all the topsoil away and everything because it's been contaminated and stuff or whatever, where are you going to
That's
build
gonna
it?
have to be replaced.
Right. It's going to have to be placed. And then are you going to put that same building back up again? And each individual homeowner in that area is going to have to determine how that building is, where they're going to put that building at, what they're going to do with it. Some of the people and stuff may not want the same building to go back up again. Some of those people and stuff and everything going to have to deal with buying the raw materials and stuff to even start building. Where are you going to put the foundation at? All that stuff's got to be all done. That is a massive thing. And guess what? I just read, Ted, in 2028, less than 3 years from now, what's going to happen in LA?
EV,
What?
EV.
No, the
No
Olympics.
more, no more gasoline.
The Olympics.
Oh, that's right.
2028, they are expected to have the Olympics in Los Angeles.
That's another major project.
That's another project. In itself, it's huge.
And that's gonna take a lot of workers,
A lot of workers and a lot of money.
expertise too.
That's the first thing.
Well, I would say if we had the right president in office, this would take off and without a hitch
Mm-hmm.
because they would have meetings with the governor, collecting people that were experts and getting it off the ground and getting it going.
Mm-hmm. That
This
reminds me.
knucklehead
That
is talking
reminds
about
me.
holding back funding.
That reminds me of what happened in the state of Maryland just what 12 months ago, maybe less than that. And that
Yeah.
man and that tanker came in and destroyed the Francis Francis Scott Key Bridge there. That is a major thoroughfare and stuff and everything for their ports in Baltimore. And they got that summer gun back up and going and everything happening in what, 8 weeks?
Space.
And without a good president that sent the right people and stuff in there, that couldn't have happened.
That's right.
And you've got a knucklehead in about 6 days that can't even figure out how to get out of his bathwater. He can't even change his diapers.
Stop it, man.
You know he got his diaper on, man. He'd have messed in his diaper and stuff while he was at the funeral, and they said he was stinking. Melania didn't even want to get next to it. he did some of his diaper. He couldn't stop it.
Stop it, Ed. Stop it. Lord help us.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
Lord,
Excuse me, folks. I shouldn't have said that.
oh,
But to get back to what we were talking about here. I don't know, man. I am sitting there flabbergasted and stuff as to what's going on, and I guess we deserve this to happen.
well, they asked for it. They got it.
Yep, and somebody said, I don't know if it's true or not, but I was talking to an individual and stuff this afternoon before I got on the show. And I was talking about what was going on, and we were getting ready to get some new folks in here. And I don't know if it's true or not, but they said that they've been in some parts of that natural disaster in North Carolina that they've been giving out these no bid contracts for people to go in and start doing the work to rebuilding parts of that area over there.
No bid contracts.
No bid contracts.
There it is right there, bro.
They getting ready to rape this country.
Well, that's been their MO for the last 20 years. Because capitalists go where the money is. And the money is with the government. That's why he went $8 trillion in 4 years in debt. Then Bush came in with an overflow. And he carried $10 million in debt. Then it took another 5 to 7 million to get us back on track. Trillion. So they raping the money. Then what they do, they go somewhere, make a lot of money, and invest in massive apartment buildings and hotels and whatever, and live like kings. Because the workers ain't making no money now. They might make their $40, $50, $30 an hour, whatever. But the real people that's making the money is the ones that are getting the contracts and running the show. So that's the way that game is played. They just taking that money from the American people and not investing. Like you said, you was talking about it the other day. You was looking at it. I've seen this many times over in China. Because I look at it every once in a while, how much infrastructure they're doing and modernizing their country. But what we're doing is we got grifters. We got people that want to take advantage and take the money from the American people to stuff and letting us live on a higher scale.
And don't get anything in return. That's the
Yeah,
problem. You're not getting anything in return. It might be okay to overcharge someone, but when you are not getting anything in return, that's that hurts. That is a real kick in the balls when you start doing that. It really is. You done pay all this money and you still haven't gotten anything to show for it. We haven't seen any high-speed rails and stuff going around here. We barely able to repair our damaged infrastructure right now, going out and redoing those roads and those bridges and stuff and everything. And then on top of all that and everything, we've allowed people to come in and they own these bridges and they putting tolls and stuff on them and they taking the money and putting it in their pocket and the government is not getting anything and stuff from it. You got a bridge sitting there right outside of Louisville that connects Louisville and Indiana together. That used to be a toll-free bridge. Now it's a toll bridge out there. They built that thing and they allowing these corporate folks to put a toll up there. And all that money is going into private people's pockets.
a lot of it is owned by foreigners. Owned by foreigners. These people, our voters, they only listen to TV and radio. They don't read, they don't do their investigation, they don't study and find out. Now, I have a site here that talks about the think tanks. Now, you might say, well, what is a think tank? A think tank is with specialists, people that know about certain subjects down to the minute detail. And they specialize, like if, for example, if you want to know about a particular pharmaceutical medication, or if you want to know a particular about a neighborhood or a community, anything like that. And these people come in and they have masters and PhDs. They studied these types of subjects and specialists and talk about those. And then they present them to your Congress people or your senator or your state house and say, this is our suggestion, what you should do about this situation, or this is what you should do about that. And they are what they call conservative and liberal. These think tanks. Some of them are radical, some of them are, on both sides. So these think tanks collect millions and millions of dollars. I'll give you a few. And you've probably seen them on TV every once in a while saying they're from Brookings Institute. Would collect about 17 million in government money. RAND, R-A-N-D, 12 million. I was looking for, we've been hearing a lot about the heritage, and I was looking for the heritage. But these think tanks are huge. And, you know, the money that they have and budgets that they have, 30, 40, 50, $100 million a year to put out these papers, these white papers. So, and they are very influential because some of them are even ex-politicians, former politicians. So, and they influence these people. And so the reason why I'm bringing this up is that they're not listening to the people. These politicians don't listen to the people. They listen to these think tanks, these lobbyists. How much money you gonna give me to do this or do that? And then they look at the issue and see if it's worth it for them to vote for that issue. Is it to my benefit? So it's our fault. When you got 90 million, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna keep saying it, 90 million people that don't vote. And then you got another 60, 70 million people that don't keep themselves informed or more. There's a problem. You want a better America. See, you might look on the outside and say, wow, look at that nice house, or wow, look at that nice car, or wow, they got a house, they got a car, or wow, they got a good job. But you don't know what they're struggling with. You know? You know, they always say an American dream is a house and 2 cars. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I never bought into that. But the point is, that's fine. But in order to keep that house, to keep that car, you got to be treated right in your community. That means you got to have urban renewal, keeping those communities up. You got to have good policing so that you won't have any issues. You got to have good roads and streets and lights so you won't be having all kind of accidents and all of that. So, but the thing is, if you are just dealing with certain communities and they're getting advantages while other communities are not getting advantages, then you got 2 Americas. You're not really spreading things that are fair. So and the reason why, because that's why you have these think tanks. That's why you have these lobbyists. These people that's making 40,000 or 30,000 or 25,000, whatever. They can't lobby. They can't lobby.
Now, who are these folks? The lobbyists making how much?
Say what?
You said the lobbyists is making $20,000.
No, I say lobbyists. I say the people that's living in these communities.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
People
the
that's living in
lobbyists
these
were.
communities.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm glad you corrected me. Maybe somebody else misunderstood me too, because these everyday people in their communities, you know, they might have their own house and they might have a couple of cars. They may not be brand new and upscale cars, but they live an American dream as far as they're concerned, because they got a nice little mid-sized house. At today's prices, might be worth $250,000, $300,000. They got a nice little 3 or 4 year old car. They get back and forth to work okay. They pay their bills on time and all that. But they're not being taken care of really properly like they should be. But everything is doing okay. Okay, all right. I got my house. I got my cars. I'm doing fine. You're not looking at the bigger picture, people. This ain't just about you. This is about the whole community, the whole state, city, and state, and the country. And these people are not doing the right things because all they're doing is pocketing money and begging for money. and not doing the right things as far as allocating money into your community, but yet still you still put up with it and keep voting these people in office.
Well, let's try to find something positive, Ted, out of this.
Okay.
Let's try to find something positive that's going on out of this. I'm looking at, let's look at, say, the Los Angeles area. Now, we know that they're going to have to take a tremendous amount of people who are going to be able to find jobs and stuff over there. And from what I'm hearing, the the price that some of these people are going to pay to get this stuff done, it's going to create a windfall and stuff for a lot of those workers there, and not you're not only going to have that manpower, uh, people who have the brains and putting these projects all together, but you're going to have people who are on the ground who are going to have to do the work. So if those people on the ground that have to do all the work and everything, and you've got so much work that got to be done, along with putting together the Olympics and then repairing what the fire has taken and destroyed, you're looking at a lot of people, man, that they're going to need to get down there and put their hands on the ground. There's going to be a lot of money being paid to these people and stuff who are going to be doing this work. A lot of money. And some of these people from, because I've talked to a few friends of mine and stuff over there who was trying to get their properties and everything built back up again. They're offering folks upwards to $50 an hour to work on their little project that they have. And they're not
That's
the
not
only
bad
one.
money.
Huh?
That's not bad money.
It's not bad money. Not bad money. So that's part of the positive that's going to come out of there. They're going to be putting a lot of people to work, and a lot of people are going to be making a lot of money. They're desperate. 3 years to get the Olympics and stuff together. They got to get that done. So
Well,
what
according to, I don't know, did you see the layout that they had already planned for the Olympics?
no,
All of those areas have been uh, pretty much they already built because they had an Olympics there in '84. So, and then that new stadium that Bonner from Microsoft built, they're going to use that in a lot of areas. Then you got your staple thing. Now the question is though, is the housing. A lot of people was going to use Airbnb. They was going to use their homes for Airbnb for people to visit and that type of thing. So a lot of people are going to be losing money on that. And that's going to be a big issue because you're going to have people, when you're talking about devastation. I mean, Pasadena is just like besides the traffic, it's not that far from LA. Santa Monica is not that far from LA. So we'll see.
there's a
And
lot
you're
of
right.
work.
It's going to be a lot of money that's going to be made. I'm just
A
who going to be the
lot.
heads to run this thing, bro?
It doesn't matter who's getting ready to run it. And I'm talking about the people who are on the ground who are going to actually do the work. Those are the ones I'm talking about. Those are the ones and stuff that we are probably going to be the closest to the ones who are on the ground doing actual work. That's the one I'm talking about, because it doesn't really matter and stuff who's going to be in charge of that whole daggone thing. They're they're going to need people, man, to come out there and work, and they don't have enough there. It's not enough. Because some people over there have already started planning and stuff and to getting some of their property and everything and stuff repaired, knowing that the insurance company has left. They're taking their own monies and stuff and everything and trying to repair and get some things done, because a lot of areas and stuff there, the people just got their houses kind of scorched up and everything, and there's not any. The houses are still standing and stuff, but there's a lot of work that had to
They
be
can't
done.
live there though. They can't live there.
Right. But they can do something and stuff to it and everything to get it fixed up. And I'm pretty sure that they're going to start. I know a lot of them have already started already. So getting some of that stuff repaired. They're putting together and stuff, a plan and stuff to get some work and everything and stuff done. So they're looking at maybe 4 or 5 months and stuff and getting themselves back up to where they were before. But a lot of other people and stuff whose homes have been completely destroyed, they're looking at a long, long, long road.
Let me switch gears.
Go ahead.
Did you see that confirmation today?
See the what?
Confirmation.
Confirmation.
Did you see the confirmation for the DOD? Secretary of Defense.
No, I haven't. I'm not going to look at any of that stuff, Ted, because it's all they're going to do is make me depressed. If something going, I'd have made a promise to myself. If I think this crap is going to make me depressed, I don't look at it and I don't deal with it. Because watching that stuff and seeing people sit there and knowing that these folks are unqualified, all of them, for their jobs. And some of them people and stuff are going to make it through, and they are going to be in charge of a lot of these departments. So, no, I haven't watched the DOD's Secretary of Defense thing, because he's one of them.
Right. I agree. I mean,
He's one of them, because he got enough stinking doo-doo around him that if they do put him in, Ted, then all the rest of them, they're going to have a cakewalk, because out of all of them, he's probably the worst one. And he is totally unqualified. And the fact that he dogged out the military, the same people that he's getting ready to go in there and try and gonna be their leader, it is unconscionable that this man would even think about appointing him. And then to have some of them MAGA folks threatening their senators and stuff and telling them that they better vote for him or they might lose their jobs.
mm.
So the only thing that most of them people can do is try to embarrass the crap out of the man and hope that he decides to say, well, I can't take this. I'm going to go head on.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that he's said and written about, and I'm gonna tell you, they put on a good show. Those senators is praising him, and we got a good recommendation from so many generals. Boom, maybe we got this, we got that. Boom, his fellow soldiers, 90 of his fellow soldiers. Boom, all that stuff. They put a gun on a good face, like Dang, man, he almost convinced me that he was worthy. If I didn't know no better. Because we know he lying through his teeth. And then he said it right in front of our face. He didn't like D-O-D-E-D, D-E-D-E, what is it, DEI? He didn't like, everything is all about merit. So the meritocracy is all about white men. They the only one qualified. Is that the deal? So you get, that's what it sounds like to me. I don't care if they black or white. That's what he said. I don't care if they black or white. If they qualify and they meet the qualifications, they'll get promoted or they'll get in positions. They'll have, whatever. What does that mean? What does the color have to do with anything? If I'm applying for a job and I qualify, it's your choice. But what they do is they talk about meritocracy, but really what they're talking about is cronyism. I know that person. I've been knowing him for 10 years. I don't know who he is. He qualified, yeah, but I don't know him or her. You know that person because you've been knowing him for 10 years. You done had dinner with him or you done seen him at banquets and all that. He's in your circle. That's the advantage and disadvantage of getting these positions. Because I'm not invited to your parties. I'm not invited to your banquets. I'm not invited to your conferences. So that's the difference. So they say the reason why I chose him because I know him. I know her. I know what they stand for. They're good people. It's not merit, qualifications. And then when you use the word prejudice or racism, discrimination, they get offended. I've been working trying to get this job for 10 years, and now I got an opportunity to get the job because it's open. But here's somebody that's not even in the department comes along and get the job because they know them. They might be qualified, yeah, because they got all the credentials, but they haven't worked in that field. That's the problem. We don't hang in their circles, bro. That's the reason why, and the reason why we don't hang in their circles because they're so. What's the term I want to use? Because not inclusive. That's what it is. They're not inclusive. They don't include everybody into their little group. And then you don't feel welcome, and then you try to introduce yourself and be friendly and what have you. You don't feel welcome. But you know what? That same person that other person, he's gonna be invited. Hey, why don't you come on and have lunch with us at such and such a place? That's the game they play, bro. And the person might be just as qualified as I am, but they don't know me. I don't go golfing.
You remember in his first term as president, if I'm not mistaken,
apostrophe,
a lot of his original appointees to a lot of these key positions made it through the confirmation. But what happened, it was after they were confirmed, it created such a backlash from the public that most of them eventually there was about 3 or 4, maybe 5 of them that had to go ahead and retire, and they couldn't really do anything at all in their positions because there was so much backlash and everything from the public that they couldn't really do their jobs. Uh, One of them I know was a our representative who represented our district before he went off into Trump's cabinet. His name was Dr. Tom Price. They confirmed him, and he once he got through his confirmation and everything, man, it was a deluge of mess that came out after he was confirmed about some of the bad things that he has done, and it got so bad and stuff for him, he had to go ahead on and resign. I remember that the Department of the Interior guy, he was uh, he was confirmed, and they found out after he was confirming everything that he had a bunch of other stuff that was going on in his life and everything, his personal life and everything that they just dogged him so bad and everything and stuff that he just couldn't do his job. He refused at first to resign, but after about a year or so, he had to go ahead and resign. But during that period of time, he couldn't do anything because he was trying to defend himself against all these accusations and stuff that people were bringing against him. This guy that's running for the DOD and everything, it's already been known that the FBI hasn't even interviewed some of the people and everything that he was supposed to have uh, did something to. The women out there he had a problem and stuff with. They haven't even interviewed these people to find out exactly did they have a good case against him or not. So if they take this rascal through and he makes it through and becomes the Secretary of Defense or whatever, and then all these folks, these women and stuff that he's been abusing or whatever he did to them start coming out in droves against him, it it might not be something bad and everything, but at least it's going to cause them a lot of headaches and stuff and everything there in the White House. And the more headaches that you can cause this guy and to create havoc and stuff in there and everything, then he can't get a whole lot done when that stuff starts happening because he's still sitting out there defending these picks that he has made for his cabinet. And if your cabinet is out there weak and you got to continue to defend your administration because of what they have done, it just causes a whole lot of problems and stuff and everything, and he can't get the things done that he wants to get done because of all the other stuff that's going on around him. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that if this guy does get confirmed, you got
Oh,
a
he's gonna get confirmed.
well, if he gets confirmed, you've got a bad apple that's sitting out there in that basket, and a rotten apple will spoil a whole lot of people around him.
Well, there's two things that one thing that comes against him. Well, two things. You know, he's definitely against DEI and he's definitely against women in combat.
That's a bad thing.
The
Any,
one thing that he wants to accomplish, the main thing that he wants to accomplish is building up the Navy. He wants more carrier ships, warships. So that's going to be more money as far as building that up. We already got more carrier ships than anybody in the world. Something like 11 or 12 of them. But they want more. So the question is that, I mean, some of the things that he said was common sense, regular DOD stuff. And some of it made sense, some of it didn't. You know, I don't know about women because, you know, I've never been in the military. I always wanted to be in the military. But the bottom line is, I mean, a woman that weighs 160 pounds, they say that you have to carry, you know, the equipment that they have on them, they say that it's valued at $1 million. All the stuff they have to carry. You're talking about a big bag, you're talking about armament, all of that. 100 pounds for, you might have to walk miles, run miles. So I don't know. But there are women that's tough enough, bro, they can do that stuff.
Well, if he makes it, like I said, if he doesn't make it through, if those other folks don't make it through, and we know that they have skeletons all over their closet, those skeletons and stuff, Ted, comes out, and when you were sitting there and defending yourself against accusations and stuff, it can be a headache and stuff for you. Him especially, he can't get anything done if he's constantly defending himself.
Well, that
And
might be true, but he's going
yeah,
to have undersecretaries.
well,
And those
if if
undersecretaries can
you
do a lot of damage.
if you still have, no matter what, if you still out there trying to defend yourself, your people and stuff that are below you and everything, you can't govern, you can't direct folks and stuff and everything when all these things are going on, when you being battered and stuff and everything daily by the mess that you have in your closet. So we'll see. If he gets to confirm, then hey, fine. And we just have to deal with it and stuff down the road. Anyway, what's your final word, man? We got to get out of here.
I'm going to say this, and I've said this a number of times, and we've talked about this. Every once in a while, you should peruse some of these think tanks, lobbyists, what their strategies are and what they're doing, what they're talking about. I mean, it's all on the internet. Everything is on the internet. Everything is open. I mean, behind closed doors, you know, we don't know that, but we know that there are strategies that these people are doing. And that's on both sides, liberal and conservative. So keep up with this stuff. That's how you learn part of it, you know. You're not going to get it from the newspapers, all of it. You're not going to get it from the TV. You know, just like you have to go through Congress to find out what they're doing. Go on the internet. And take a few minutes a day or you know, or maybe a whole hour or two to look up certain things like that so that you can keep up with what these people are doing and what they're not doing and what they should be doing. And then you'll be a more informed citizen so that you can vote the way you want to vote, whatever that may be. But like, keep on talking about all this gossip stuff and all of this and all of that. People running mouth, telling lies, information, misinformation, and flat out lies, you know, because I don't want to go there, but, you know, the lies they're telling on the mayor of LA. She's not the mayor of Santa Monica. You know the mayor of Santa Monica has a mayor. You know, Altadena has a mayor. You know, Pacific Palisades got their own people. So come on. She's the LA mayor. She's not a head of the county, just the LA. Okay? And then they lied saying that she cut the budget, which was a lie. She increased it to $58 million. Find out the truth before you start gossiping and believing these lies these people say. Please. It's ridiculous. And then you go around talking about, oh, you know, she cut the budget and this and that, and that, and that, and that. Anyway, I'm done.
The only thing that I have to say is that we just have to find that lemonade in the bunch of lemons, and those bad apples and stuff that you throw inside the basket will poison the rest of the apples. So I'm not wishing any of these folks bad luck. I'm just hoping that they might have some integrity and do what the heck is right. I don't know. So we just have to see what the heck's going to happen. It's what, 6 days and counting down. So, and our president, the current, he will have power until 12 o'clock noon on Monday.
God bless Joe Biden. That's all I got to say.
Yes,
and may
sir.
he have long life.
May he have a real long life. And he's going out in the blaze of glory, probably. So I'm pretty sure, Ted, that, and I can tell everybody else, we're going to dread the day that this son of a gun hit the daggone, set his nasty butt up there in the White House. They're going to wish that Joe was back, old, decrepit, or whatever. They're going to wish that Joe was back there in that White House, because this man is planning to go in there and stink that place up to the high heavens. We will see you people. Have a good day.